iPhone 6. Finally, after years, I found a phone of this model with a reasonable price to repair. I've been looking for it for a long time and now it's finally here. After a quick unboxing, I proceed with a preliminary analysis. The display has a noticeable crack near the home button. I try to turn it on. It works. No problems with the touchscreen. The home button is fine. The mute switch and the volume button work. Good. I can proceed with the repair. Ciao, my name is Mirko and this is how I restore it. It will be a simple job. I need to change only the display. Quick and easy. Of course, prints are always essential with iPhones. I remove the pentalobe screws. With a suction cup and a pick, I lift the display. I take off the battery bracket. I disconnect it. I remove the protection of the display connectors. Disconnect all the flats. And I remove the display. I try the new screen. I connect the flats, the battery. I try to turn it on. Panic. Doesn't turn on. Maybe something went wrong. I disconnect the battery and I try to remove the display. Something strange happens while I try to disconnect the LCD flat. The upper metal part of the flat rises from the flat without disconnecting it from the motherboard. Then, by forcing a little, I can detach it. We check the status of the flat. The metal part is completely detached. On the other side, the connector is completely destroyed. The whole lower part is missing. I don't know how this could have happened. But if a part is missing here, it must necessarily have remained inside the motherboard connector. This connector is really destroyed. I was too focused on finding a solution to the problem to record the scene well. And I don't have the tools yet to be able to zoom in and show each operation in detail. So I decided to recreate what I did in this simulation. In fact, a part of the flat is left inside the connector. I've come up with a pretty risky idea. I'll try to use a needle to remove the part of the connector stuck in the motherboard. I try to go slow and not touch other metal parts. With the needle, I risk of ruining them. I have to be very careful to avoid strange contacts. The battery is disconnected, but you never know. I managed to remove all the residues. This is the largest part I have extracted. The rest is much smaller. The connector is now clean. As you can see, it's really small. In practice, it went like this. While I was trying to disconnect the flat, the metal part has lifted. So I had to force a lot to raise the flat and unplug it from the motherboard. This caused it to break up. A part remained inside the connector. To remove it, I used a metal needle, scraping slowly, quite dangerous operation. I almost ruined this phone for good. Okay, but the fundamental part is missing. I haven't checked yet if the phone works. Will it power on? Or with my attempts to fix it, I definitely broke it. I tried to reconnect the old display. I plug in the battery. It works. Fortunately, aside the display, I haven't broken anything else. The display can be easily changed. I'm ordering a new display. New display arrived. I proceed with the transfer of all the parts present on the old panel. I connect all the flats. Battery. I put the brackets and the screws. I close the phone. The pentalobe screws. And that's it. Time required about 1 week of work and a lot of fear. iPhone 6. Now the phone works perfectly. My experience shows that you can never take things for granted. An operation that I have repeated dozens of times. I worked with dozens of phones, but it took a moment to risk ruining a device. Fortunately, the solution I tried turned out to be successful. But I risked a lot. A lesson for future repairs. I will remember this iPhone for a long time. If you like the video, remember to subscribe to the channel and follow me on my social. Ciao!